Well, hello everybody and welcome back. It's really nice that you could join me once again. So I am currently doing a little staycation here in England at the Temple of Diana at Weston Park. Now, those of you who watch regularly will remember that I did a guided tour of this beautiful place about 2-3 months ago. It was spring coming into winter going into spring. So the scenery has changed a lot since then, so I just thought that it'd be beautiful to come and do a little staycation here, spend a few nights and really share this incredibly peaceful and beautiful place. It's nestled in Capability Brown Parkland, which was created hundreds of years ago in the 18th century. And Nathan and I went for a walk last night, and when we were walking and I was looking at some of the most beautiful trees, it really struck me that these were planted all those years ago, and the people doing that, knowing that they would never get to sit in the shade of that tree or get to experience its full beauty, but still they planted them so that people like me could enjoy them for years to come. And that, I thought, was a very special thought and something very beautiful to think about. But this is the most incredible landscape, so peaceful. The only sound you can hear are birds and the occasional bleating of sheep, but other than that, complete heaven. So I really did want to share this wonderful experience with you all. England in the summertime is just magical, and as someone who grew up in a very humble background, working class environment, to get to stay here and kind of live an aristocratic experience for 2 nights is a real treat and something very special, and an occasion that I wanted to share with you as always. So yes, please do join me here. I'm with Nathan. We are going to have a lovely time just enjoying this relaxing space. I'm going to show you a few special things, and I want to share with you a new podcast which I'm very excited to tell you all about soon. So welcome and join us. Well, first things first, why don't I give you a quick look around? I know I did show you around before, but for those of you who haven't seen that, I'll quickly show you inside. It is a very beautiful place, and obviously now that it's more sunny and in the summer, it's the light is different. So let me take you in and we can have a quick tour around. So here we have the magnificent Temple of Diana, and this is the main room of the accommodation, which is absolutely enormous. It has this beautiful light-filled room which is just illuminated by these floor-to-ceiling windows. And what I really love about this is how light and airy it feels, and we have this gorgeous wicker furniture which is very in keeping with this style. And on a summer's day like this, just absolutely perfect. I mean, I'm not sure what it would be like to stay here in the winter, maybe a little bit cold, but on a day like this, really beautiful. And you can open up all of the windows and you get this fresh breeze coming through. It's just heaven in here. So this is that. Okay, let's go through to the tea salon. So this is the tea salon, a beautiful circular room. We've got lots of beautiful squashy armchairs, lots of seating so that everybody can sit here and relax together and enjoy this beautiful room, which was decorated by Colfax and Fowler. And then we'll go through to the dining room. We've had the radio on, so I'm just going to turn that down, beautiful classic FM. And this is another incredible room, octagonal, painted yellow, very in keeping with the traditional Colfax and Fowler interior. And last night we enjoyed a beautiful dinner in here. And yes, as you can see, it's a beautiful place. So this is the upstairs, and I'll show you downstairs again shortly. There's a kitchen down there, and then the bedrooms up in the turrets. So yes, this is, I just thought I'd give you a quick look around once again before we begin the video, just in case you were curious about what it was like inside of here. So we're just down here in the kitchen now, and I thought that I would show you because it is such a cool space. We're just making a little bit of lunch. I'm with Nathan. We've got some quiche, some vegetables and some salad. So we're just going to have a little bit of lunch, maybe a glass of wine.
Oh yeah, oh what a good idea.
Nice glass of rosé. But this kitchen is super cool. They've really utilised the space very well. And yeah, it's got pretty much everything you need. So it's a great little kitchen for cooking and entertaining if you're having a party. Also very cool on a hot day like this, which is so nice because being all of the floor to ceiling windows upstairs, it can get quite warm. So it's great to be down here in the cool preparing some lunch, and yeah, it's pretty nice. So, Nathan and I just going for a private tour of Weston Park now. We're just walking from the Temple of Diana to the main house, which is about a 5-minute walk. And we're very excited to go and have a look round. I went there when I was about 5 years old on a school trip. And the only thing I can remember about it was seeing this library with a secret door. And then the guide telling us about one of the residents there, one of the daughters of the Earl, I think, who was stood by the fire in the wintertime and her dress caught fire and she sadly met a very tragic end. That's the only thing I can remember. Maybe I've made that up. So I'm keen to find that out when I go inside, and I'm sure I'll bring back lots of memories when I get there. I'm looking forward to having a tour, private tour, and also showing you around too. So this is the entrance hall, and I think it is probably one of my favourite rooms in the house because you walk in and you're greeted with this incredible space, super tall ceilings, columns, and then also the view of the staircase through the archway, which I think is just gorgeous. Now we're in the morning room, which is red and is filled with portraits, which I think adds a great touch with all of the gilt frames and makes it look very stately indeed. So this is the staircase that I was talking about, really bright and airy in here. I wasn't expecting it to be so beautiful and bright. I just really love this space. There's Nathan taking some photos. And this is one of the drawing rooms. This used to be a courtyard until one of the family many years ago turned it into 2 more rooms. This is the huge red dining room, which is absolutely fantastic for a wonderful party. And speaking of parties, if you want to get married here, you can do that here in this orangery, and it is a great space. You can have lots of wedding guests. This is the library, and it very much reminds me of the one at Highclere Castle, which is of course Downton Abbey. Very cosy with its little velvet sofas. And again, another favourite room is this one, the pink drawing room, just off the library where the ladies would go to take their tea, afternoon tea. I love this shade of pink, it goes so well with those gilt frames, and I just think this is the most beautiful feminine room. And next we have this tapestry room, which is very dark because it needs to be protected from the sun. And now one of the guest bedrooms where you can actually stay here at Weston Park. I will provide the links in the description so that you can check this out for yourselves. Oh, just finished the private tour, Weston Park, and I have to say I'm a little bit overwhelmed with how beautiful it is. For some reason, I kind of expected it to be maybe a little bit shabby inside, and that's not being mean to the wonderful people at Weston, but it's because I'm so used to going in these country houses that are owned by places like the National Trust, and you go in and they're kind of a little bit shabby with sparse furniture, empty rooms, and like a real need of restoration. And this house, it's owned by a private trust, and they have kept it absolutely immaculately, and all of the rooms are beautifully furnished. It is exquisite, as you're going to see, or you might have already seen when I've edited it that way. But yeah, every room is beautiful, historically accurate, filled with the most gorgeous collection of furniture, artworks, objects. And it kind of looks like a house that, the way that it would have been back in the day when it was built and lived in. And that is a very special thing for these types of houses. So Weston Park is a real treat. And you can hire it for exclusive use. It's a minimum of 3 nights, and I think it's a minimum of 24 guests, so you'd need to share it with some friends. But oh wow, what a place to have a party and a beautiful weekend. Well, good morning. It is 5:18 a.m. and I was up early this morning, couldn't really sleep, so I decided to get up and take a walk. And I just think that it was my body telling me to wake up and enjoy the beauty before we leave later today, and in a way that is so supremely serene and calm. There's going to be no one around here, well, I hope not. And so I want to really enjoy the parkland. I'm going to go for a huge walk and really explore this capability brown landscape at its finest. So I'm going to do that and enjoy this morning walk. Just so beautiful here. Look at the view. Never been over this bridge. So I've just walked around the lake and now I'm crossing on the other bridge. And I can't help but think about all of the people who have driven over this bridge or walked this bridge, driven in their horse and carriages or on their horse, what their lives must have been like, everything they experienced, the stories they had. That's the thing that I love about life the most, is just thinking about all those things and all the people who've been here before us. How lucky we are to be here now. And it might seem a little bit weepy and soppy, but I love thinking about these things. That's why I love the history, and that's why I particularly enjoy country houses, because they're steeped in this history, and there've been so many stories and so many lives that have lived in them, make them so special. I had to show you this. Talking about my love of foxgloves all the time. Here they're just growing wildly. Quite an amazing display. Standing proudly like that amongst this woodland, and then on the opposite side you have these incredible ferns, which are so luscious and green. It's kind of like being at a fashion show and sitting either side of a runway and competing for who's wearing the most beautiful outfit. But yes, very pretty walk down here. So beautiful, so lucky to be here. Now I'm just exiting this part of the estate and into the parkland, where we continue our little walk. Sun is just rising over there. It's rising very early now, but as we passed the solstice the other day, it's going to get later and later. Just noticed a little friend here, little froggy. Hello. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. So, just coming down this beautiful path, And I think this is probably my favourite vista of Weston Park, when this curved path just sweeps around the parkland and then slowly the house comes into view. You won't be able to see it just now on the camera, but these winding bucolic little paths that wind through this gorgeous parkland is what make Capability Brown landscape so enchanting. This is like a typical vision of what you would imagine of English country life and English country parkland, but really it is totally manufactured because it was designed and made to look like this. So clever. How did they do this without aerial views and being able to go up into the air and look and analyse the landscape? I'll never know. And that's what makes it even more incredible, is that they managed to just pull off this feat of beauty and create something so spectacular that even hundreds of years later is still intact and incredibly beautiful. Everywhere you look, you just want to explore, and it's kind of like a really hard decision to make. Are you going to go this way or are you going to go that way? It's like, which is going to be the most beautiful way? But what I can tell you is that whichever way you do decide to walk, it is going to be incredibly beautiful. I'm going to go this way. And if we just look over here, behind the tree, you can just see there through the trees, the Temple of Diana where we're staying. The sheep are out this morning, bleating. It's quite a peaceful sound, even though you wouldn't imagine so. But I think it just adds to what you would expect of this English country lifestyle. These huge skies, I had to stop and admire them. They could be a painting. Just look at all the colours and the way that they scatter across like that, like feathers. Beautiful, big open skies. Wow, such an amazing morning. I'm really glad I decided to get up and take this walk. Stunning. Actually nearing the end of our little walk, morning walk through Weston Park, and you can just see there in the distance the balustrades to the house, the formal garden, and then very soon you will get a glimpse of the house. And as we've walked around, the sun has kind of gone behind the clouds a little bit. It's still beautiful. But the sunlight was dappling all of those trees earlier. Now it's kind of just fading away. But oh, some of these trees are so beautiful. Look at that tree there. Wow. It's like a perfect sculpture. And there we go, there's the house. And actually this side that you can see was the original entrance facade of the house. was changed, I think, in the Regency period, but I'll have to check. I was told about that yesterday, but I've slept since then. One thing that I'm starting to realise is that my brain struggles to remember numbers. But anyway, that's the least thing I have to worry about on a day like this. Love this tree. Beautiful. And the temple is behind these trees here. So I'm gonna head back, make myself some tea and breakfast. It's 6 o'clock in the morning now, so by the time I get back, it'll be an hour walk. Perfect way to start the day. I'm feeling so energized and excited. And just look how beautiful it is here. So stunning. English country dream. One last shot before we go, sorry. The house here, and then as we pan round, I'm going to try and do it slowly so I don't make you feel sick. There's the Temple of Dana where I'm heading back. Sitting very pretty in the landscape there. So let's head back now through the woodland and to breakfast. And just one more video, the approach to the temple, just so that I can show you kind of a perspective of that. It's a very pretty approach. And there's a bench here dedicated to a previous gardener, Roland Smith, head gardener, 1922 to 1957. He loved these gardens. Wow. And this is a really wonderful place to sit and enjoy a marvellous view of the Parkland here. Shaded underneath this oak. Pretty spectacular. So the real purpose of this video was to tell you about something quite exciting that Nathan and I have been planning for a while, which is our podcast. So even though it is called a podcast, what we have to consider is that because Nathan is deaf, and we also want to reach out to the deaf community, as we have quite a lot of people who we know who are deaf, and we want to be able to cater to everyone, we're not going to be doing a traditional podcast where it is only audio. We need to be able to be on camera and the podcast to be filmed.
Visual as well.
So it's visual,
yeah.
So that people can see and they can lip read or do the sign language. So even though we're calling it a podcast, it's going to be a podcast in terms of topics and conversation where we just sit together and chat about things, but actually it's going to be filmed. So that is what we're going to do. So what we want to do is just tell you a little bit about our new podcast, which is called A Dose of Dandy.
Fabulous.
We came up with the name together, we chose we came up with a few names, and we
had
decided
quite a
that...
name on the list that we were thinking for a very long time, and we want to know what is very new, something stand out and it's very up.
Yeah.
You know, and the name we picked together, it was like, it's just spot on.
Spot on, and just feels like a fun,
Yeah.
classy, fresh name. Elegant and fun and snappy. So it's called A Dose of Dandy, and what we aim to do in this podcast is just provide a weekly dose of elegance, style, beauty, and we've come up with a list of topics that we're going to talk about every week together. And we've been here at Weston Park for 2 days.
Yeah.
We've had a lovely time here at the Temple of Diana, and this is the thing that you and I love to do the most, is come to a beautiful place like this, absorb ourselves in all of the beauty.
Elegant surrounding.
The elegant surroundings.
And not only because of that, it's because it helps to appreciate the beautiful things that aren't discovered in England, you know,
Yeah.
and there's so many hidden gems everywhere, and it's an opportunity for us to showcase to you all these beautiful places everywhere, and you know, and the places we love so much.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's true. It is these unique hidden gems. Not many people would realise that you could come and stay at a place like this.
Because normally when we go to places in a stately home, it's like natural trust or a museum that you can't really settle. It's very medium-like. But here, you treat like at a home, in a stately home. It can be used, it can be functioned, you can, you know, appreciate it in a real life experience. It's magical.
I know.
Magical.
It is magical. And yes, it's a unique place in that, for that reason, that you come here and you live like it's your home.
Oh yeah.
You get to enjoy it.
Definitely.
So whilst we've been here, this is the perfect example of why we wanted to do the podcast, because we've been here enjoying this space, and we have these conversations all the time about things that we enjoy, style, clothing, interiors, art, travel. And we just thought it would be very nice to sit together once a week on a podcast and chat about these things, because we know that there are so many people out there like you who would also enjoy talking about them. So the plan is for our first series 1, to have 10 episodes.
10 out of 10.
And we've already compiled each episode, what it's going to be about. Each one is going to have a different focus. So, for example, we've got dandy destinations, some of our favourite destinations to travel around the world. That is one example. And then we've got an episode where we talk about our past and how we came to enjoy beautiful things.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give away too much about it, but just a little glimpse of what you can expect, and hopefully you will find it interesting.
So you have an idea of what we're talking about, to give you some tips and inspiration, and to help you to visualize how to do it for your home, your lifestyle, you know, and how to enjoy a beautiful thing in life.
Exactly. That is essentially perfectly what it's all about. It's just beautiful things on a weekly basis, a very light-hearted chat between two people, and hopefully it will be something unique and fun for you all to enjoy. So I just wanted to use this opportunity in this incredible location to tell you about the podcast, and hopefully we will be able to bring you more news soon about when that is going to be released. But please do follow our new Instagram account. I'll put the link in the description box so that you can check it out, and you will find out there first when you'll be able to, when the podcast will be released, and you'll be able to find out everything you need to know there. So I'll put that in the description box. But if you have Instagram now, you just search for A Dose of Dandy and that will come up, and you'll be able to follow us along there on Instagram.
Perfect. Looking forward to doing that.
Yes. And thank you so much for joining us here at the Temple of Diana at Weston Park. Please do check it out if you want to consider having a beautiful, unique vacation or holiday. This is truly unique, and I will also provide the link in the description box for this so you can check that out. It does get booked up quite fast. We're lucky to be here for 2 nights, but it does get booked up fast because obviously it is a beautiful, unique experience. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time, but until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.